Bichara Supply Chain, highlighting and showcasing solutions for the most complex challenges facing the industry in 21st century by our team of subject matter experts and mentors. Broadcasting every week, all year round, we will present the most up-to-date series of podcasts and webinars.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Bichara Supply Chain. This is Nur Hadi house, and my guest today is Steve Shebuski. He is VP, Vice President of Digital Strategy at Blue Horseshoe, a cloud enterprise and supply chain solutions company. Thank you for being here today, Steve. It's really excited to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, very excited to be here and part of your podcast. So definitely a fan. Looking forward to interacting with you guys today.
Absolutely. Okay, so in today's episode, we're going to talk about how supply chain visibility helps companies realize value and ROI, or return on investment. But before we get started, Steve, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what exactly a Blue Horseshoe does?
Sure. Yeah. So I've been building software solutions specifically around, in the late 90s around warehouse management and transportation management. And so did that for a number of years and then, kind of landed at Blue Horseshoe about 20 years ago. We're at Blue Horseshoe, we're really, we kind of do a couple of things, but our DNA has been in supply chain, since inception, and really have focused on helping companies figure out a digital strategy, a digital transformation strategies on how to improve their supply chains and their ability to execute with the use of technology across business applications, data, analytics, and business process. And so, through the years, I've managed, a lot of different types of projects, enterprise projects with companies, across, all of those things, applications, data, integrations, analytics to really just kind of focus on those, helping organizations make those incremental improvements. And so, today I head up a solutions team that focuses on in my area, really focuses on the Microsoft side of things in terms of the platform and the digital solutions there. Today's conversation, because a lot of what we do is around helping provide better tools for companies to achieve supply chain visibility and measurements. So looking forward to the conversation today.
Awesome. Okay, let's start with the very fundamental questions. What does supply chain visibility mean?
Yeah, so I mean it's a loaded topic, right? So there's with especially this year, I guess, starting at the top, supply chain has become really, from my perspective, a very hot topic, right? So folks are talking about lots of different things developing, with COVID, with some of the major sort of natural impacts of things that have happened today with weather and different things. I mean, folks have been really focused on supply chains this year and creating resilience. When we talk about, the visibility piece of that, it's really, kind of making sure that you have an ability to connect, first of all, with all your trading partners. In a way that allows you to interact and collaborate and understand, all of the various folks that have a role in your supply chain. Could be vendors, could be brokers, could be carriers, could be freight forwarders, it could be your customers. could be 3PLs, right? All of these, if all of these different organizations are a part of your supply chain, and collaborating with them is really the key here, and information, right? And sharing information, so you can get insights into what's happening, and then if you've built some resilience in your supply chain, how do you react, right? So I think at a highest level, that's kind of how I think of it.
Okay, so you have mentioned the meaning of visibility. So my next question is, what is the benefit of supply chain visibility, and how does it optimize the ROI? Can you elaborate a little bit on this?
Yeah, I mean, so when I think about sort of, what's the benefit? I mean, some of them are sort of, obvious or inherent, right? So if information is key, right? If we have, we're sitting over here in the U.S. and if you look on the news right now, and the number of ships sitting out, in the harbor of Seattle is fascinating, right? There's just, folks are, they can see where their goods are. They've got visibility, and they're held up, and so. Getting information about what's happening, where folks are, collaboration on things like your customers' inventory positions of things that you're providing them, your carrier's ability to have assets, trucks and drivers to fulfill your request to deliver and make appointments. Information that they actually delivered goods, all of those things, understanding when, as a lot of times things coming over, over the water takes 30, 60, 90 days. So really tracking those things and having information about it is the first step, and really organizing it for each organization in a way so that, the smart folks that you hire to help with procurement and inventory positioning in your network and things, that they can start to see and measure and deal with exceptions. So when you talk about ROI is really where, you have an ability to number one, make sure you do have inventory in the right place at the right time. Yeah. That you're not, buying more inventory or making more inventory than there's demand for, that you have a flowing supply chain. And so there's inherent value ROI in that, in terms of just executing on your business.
Awesome. Okay, so based on your experience where you have successfully managed a project with the clients, could you please specify and describe a real example how supply chain visibility works and brings value to the company?
Sure. Yeah, I can definitely we can do that in a few different places. I think, when we think about, supply chain, we have a couple of customers that are here. Just one that I might talk about is, kind of a pure distributor with several DCs here in the United States, 5 actually major DCs. Their products are coming, from Vietnam and China. They have branches, smaller branches in every state that are really managing inventory for local customers, and so it's a pretty extensive network. And so when you start to think about their business, which is a seasonal business, and they have to do a lot of planning for buying inventory, being able to store it in these DCs, and then push it out to their branches so that their customers can come pick it up or do local delivery. And so for them, is really about a couple of different things. Number one is really, as you think about sort of ocean freight and managing the inbound goods, and really planning those things from beginning to end, having visibility to their containers, when they were filled, when they shipped, when they took ownership of that inventory financially, where they were on the water, gave huge advantage to them in terms of being able to ensure that things were moving through their network according to plan. A lot of companies, including them, as part of our initiatives, we're also kind of creating some outlets to create some supply chain resilience and some nearshore capabilities to source internally. So when things were held up or things on the ocean weren't coming in a timely manner, the types of things that they were able to do is really based on us being able to provide that visibility, quickly see those exceptions on their platform and then make adjustments, i.e., create orders locally in some of their nearshore capabilities, moving inventory in their network according to not necessarily having what they originally planned, and really sourcing it from somewhere else. So again, it's just in these distribution networks, it's getting the visibility of where things are, where you're seeing demand, and when you see those exceptions, like our customer, being able to react to those exceptions and then rely on the work you've done to create some of that resilience, and then have the infrastructure to be able to execute. And so for our distributors, that's just being able, the end game is serving the customer, making sure you have the right thing in the right place at the right time. And that really, those types of tools really help facilitate that.
Okay. I actually still have a couple of questions, Steve, but we are running out of time. So before we finish today's conversation, do you have any other key takeaway that you like to share with our audience? I just think,
there's when you're thinking about your supply chain, there's a number of things to think about, right? Is these days, it's kind of like the pendulum of supply chain, where there's a time where everyone was going very, very lean and, just in time and those types of things. And certainly a lot of those concepts are still important because that's, save operational dollars to the bottom line. But I think this year folks realize that there's also value in resilience and an ability to react to change. And so, I think there's a couple of things is really kind of creating that plan around around resilience, and then, creating the communication and the data connections and collaborations with your vendors and your brokers and essentially all your trading partners to share information so that, you can have visibility into what's happening. And really, the trick is with that is that's typically a lot of data. It's really about then using logic and systems and capabilities to really escalate and elevate exceptions to your folks that you've hired to really make those hard decisions in terms of reacting to when things don't go as planned. And so those types of actions with their supply chain, and then working with companies like Blue Horseshoe on how to put the right tools in place to help facilitate and execute on it. All right. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Steve. I really appreciate that. And I look forward to speaking with you at another time. Great. Look forward to it as well. Thanks for creating some time for us, and appreciate the conversation.
At Bichara Supply Chain, we are committed to driving global perspective to embrace technological adaptation in improving process efficiencies. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share Bichara Supply Chain. And stay tuned for the latest updates. To learn more, visit our website www.bicharasupplychain.com. Thank you for listening to us. We look forward to seeing you at our next episode.